you want to get us started, and then we'll take questions in the chat.
All right, Coach. Obviously, a rough start to the game. Houston didn't seem like they could miss shots early. Turnover issues at the beginning of the game. So you were, pretty much set back pretty early on. What was your message to the team after a game like this?
I was just disappointed to how we started the game, and you give Houston a lot of credit. I mean, they execute their game plan very well. Like you said, they made shots. A lot of shots to start the first half off, and it kind of knocked us back. So just disappointed. We had the game plan, a strategy, and I didn't think we executed well at all to start. Gave them some of the looks that we were trying to take away, and we have to be better than that.
Coach, go back to half. You're down 45-19. What are you saying to the team, and how do you think they responded to that message in the second half?
Well, it's a new half, and I told them we need to get off to a good start in the second half. We need to chip away at the lead. We dug that hole. We can dig ourselves out of it. We have to take it possession by possession and work towards that. And I thought our guys did that. I thought our second half, we established ourselves a little bit better. I thought we started making better plays, connecting plays. We also started getting some stops, which was hugely important in us being able to make a few runs.
Coach, when you look at the turnovers, how much of that is just really that lack of practice time that you guys haven't had?
Like I said, it's hard for me to make excuses. I mean, at the end of the day, we got to take care of the ball better. Of course, we definitely would like to have more practice and more time on the floor together where we can get some chemistry. But that's just not the way it's going to be this year. You're going to have to play through these situations and do the best you can. And that's all we're going to do. And so, we'd like to have our guys, working together a little bit more on situational basketball as well as, just on some of the skill work. But we haven't had that type of time to do those things because, like I said, you're throwing together a team real quick, and going to play games. So, but our guys, the thing that it's tough to tolerate is unforced turnovers. And so if it's forced, I understand. But when it's not forced, which means that you have possession and it's more along the lines of decision-making, we got to be better at making decisions. And some of that comes with experience. Some of these guys are young out there, and it's their first experience in college basketball, and I think they're pressing because they want to help us and do well. But, at this level, that can turn bad quick, as you know.
You have 6 days until your next game at home against SMU. How do you plan to use that time to help get the team back on track?
We have to do some soul searching. We have to get together, and we have to right the ship. I mean, there's only one way to do it, and that's through going out there through energy and effort for 40 minutes. We have to do that better than we have done in the last few games. We have to figure out, where we have to improve at, which, we have a week to kind of work on those things now and get better, and also continue to get healthier, and hopefully get some more bodies out there, and which will also, and I think, aid in with some of our depth.
Jamal Reynolds saw career high in minutes, and as a result, saw career highs in pretty much every category. 14 points, 5 of 7 shooting. What can a game like this do for a player like that? Still trying to learn his way.
Well, it was a huge game for Jamil. I mean, plus to do it against a team like Houston, who does a great job with their post defense. I thought he did a really good job for us. He stabilized us inside, gave us a presence down there, and that was good. So, we know Jamal has a lot of potential, and I think you saw glimpses of it today of how good he can be, and he's only going to continue to get better.
We saw Darius Perry on the bench for this game. What is his status? Do you expect to have him going forward against SMU?
Well, we're still in a wait and see, pattern for Darius, based on how some results come back, from what he's dealing with, as you guys know. So, we have to wait and see. I can't say one way or another until we get, things back to kind of, determine where he is. And if he's able to go, I'm sure he's excited to go compete.
CJ struggled today. What do you want to see him work on during practice this week and put him in a better position against SMU Saturday?
Well, CJ has to just understand, what his strengths are. I mean, his strengths are right now defending and rebounding and grow his game from that perspective. Just defend, rebound, and look to make plays, like similar to like a guy like Gorham did for Houston. Just really had 5 offensive rebounds. I mean, those are plays that a player like CJ can make today. He has to just understand his value in doing those things, because he's a great young man and he's really coachable. We just have to continue to work with him, understanding that here's some of your strengths, like offensive rebounding, defensive rebounding, being the best defender. He should be one of the best defenders in the nation. He can move so well. He can guard multiple positions. These are things right now that I think he's capable of doing. And then he'll continue to grow his offensive game, his ability to shoot. He can make a spot shot from behind the three. He can put it on the floor, 1 or 2 dribbles and get to the basket. So these are things he'll continue to get better with practice and with time. But the things that we know he can do right, he can defend and rebound today. And those are things that he should really concentrate on and then continue to grow his game from there.
You guys have faced Houston twice now, and they did this today without Caleb Mills, who's moved on to Florida State. But facing them twice now, do you see them as maybe an Elite 8 team or even a Final Four team?
No, I do. I mean, we played some very good teams this year, and none have been any better than Houston, to be quite frank. I mean, the way they played, they're so connected. They play together. They play with such a physicality and aggressiveness for 40 minutes. And I respect that as a coach. You respect the way they play. And for us right now, they've been the cream of our league, and there's someone that I think that all of us coaches that are in this league are looking at and like, hey, we want to be there. We want to get there. And they're setting the example of what you have to do to be successful at that level.
Since you guys, you've missed a few games the last few weeks, and ordinarily I'm sure you wouldn't want a 6-day layoff, until you play SMU. But the fact you haven't been able to get in a rhythm with practices, you're missing some players. Is it maybe a good thing you have 6 days between games and maybe aren't playing on Wednesday?
I'd prefer us getting in the rhythm of playing games because it's been so choppy for us all season long. But I do understand the importance that we have right now with getting everybody or getting the majority of our guys back, getting them practicing together so we can get some chemistry and continuity. So it's just too choppy out there for me on both sides of the basketball. And I think that's largely due to the fact that there's no flow because we haven't had a flow with how we playing games and or practices. So I think there's carryover from that. So it'd be good to, get some practices under our belt, hopefully get some players back and start to work towards, some better continuity out there on the floor.
Okay, thank you, Coach. We'll wrap up there, and thanks everyone for being on.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
Coach.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Coach.
Coach.